Hello, so this is Euan again, and I have completed deploying to all my environments. So my development scripts have all run. I've got a QA and development server deployed, and I've got a staging and production server deployed. And I've also run the seed data script on all the environments. So I've got my employees all saved in. You can see at one point I had a mistake in my CSV, and this was in development, and you have a reset environment action which you can run, which can delete all data on an environment, and then you can just seed again if anything goes wrong. The only thing you can't do in the action for reset environment is you can't reset production. We just removed the line in the workflow for production, just so that you don't do this by mistake when you go live. If you want to reset production, you can always put that line back into the workflow, just temporarily during development, as long as you remove it before you go live. So this is my development environment, and you will remember that you have test employees, so you can use any of these employees with the password on the right to log in to any development environment. So I can do that now. So just use the password that's there, and notifications and two-factor authentication is disabled in development. This is just to aid you in quality assurance. You don't need to keep resetting your password every time. On the contrary, a production environment, this is staging. So you'll notice that you have one national system admin employee with the password here. Now this is essential that as soon as you have seeded, the national administrator must log in with the password, and they'll be immediately prompted to change their password to a strong password before they can actually access the system for real. So it's very important that you do that for any national system administrators that you create. You'll be asked to enter some security questions. I'm just putting in anything just to get past this screen, but you'll be asked for security questions which you'll be asked if you ever need to reset the password, and you'll be logged out, and immediately you'll have to log in again as the national system administrator with the strong password. Okay, now two-factor authentication will be working, so you need to now test to see if your SMTP service has worked. So I am redirecting all of my emails that I receive from OpenCRVS to a Slack channel for the benefit of this demonstration. So I can see all my emails coming in. I can see here is my two-factor authentication code. I can enter that value in here and log in. So two-factor authentication and email notifications are working. That's very important. You have to test that. And now you, as a national system administrator, you can go to the team section and you can start to create new users, and they will get invitation emails. Invitation emails will look a bit like this. There will be a very strong password that's generated for them as temporarily, which they can then immediately change when they log in for the very first time. So I've configured all of my Kibana alerts, everything to come into the same Slack channel. If you're not getting messages, then there's something wrong with your SMTP server. So what do you do? Well, you can learn a little bit about how to monitor and debug OpenCRVS. So you should, if you want to find out what's going on in your system, you don't need to SSH into the server. You can browse all the microservice logs in Kibana. So that is, the URL is kibana.yourdomain, and the username is always elastic, and the password will be saved into the .env file for your environment. Now you would have to normally move all these passwords into one password or a Bitwarden, some kind of strong password manager. That's really where all those passwords should go. Temporarily, they exist in those .env files. So when you're logged into Kibana, you can see the basic, what you get for free with Elasticsearch and Kibana. You don't need to buy anything. Sometimes you get prompted, would you like to buy this extra feature? You don't need it. So just ignore any kind of prompt asking you to pay for anything. Go to observability, logs. And in logs, you can browse service logs for any microservice at any time. So it's exactly the same thing as SSHing into the server and using Docker service logs to inspect logs in a microservice. You can do it all in Kibana. So to choose a microservice, type the word tag and then colon, and then you'll have learned about the APIs that are in the countryconfig microservice and learned that that's the API, that's the service which is broadcasting messages to your SMTP service. So you want to type tag colon countryconfig. And then you'll get all of the logs that are currently coming from the countryconfig service. If you type space notification, then you can see all maybe or email or something like that. Then you'll be able to search the logs more appropriately, and you're looking for any errors that are occurring, perhaps when you're trying to send a message to someone. So I can scroll through these logs and I'm not getting any errors. Everything is working fine. Emails are being sent. I don't have any 500s. But normally if you had an issue, you would probably see it here. You would see some kind of transport error to your SMTP server. Perhaps there's some DNS settings that are wrong, or vice versa. So just take a look at these logs. You can scroll down here and you can see where the most content is being broadcast by these little peaks. So you can search for all the sort of requests that are happening, and you should be quite obvious where anything could have gone wrong in here. So this is pretty much what you use to monitor OpenCRVS. There are a number of alerts which are configured. You can click observability alerts, and you can see any kind of error that's being broadcast in the application. You can click manage rules and you can see the kind of rules we've given by default. For example, we'll send you an alert if disk space is exhausted, or if somebody's trying to SSH into your system, or anything went wrong when it was backing up. All of these alerts are built in, and you'll get those warnings coming to you in Slack. So if you want to learn more about how to monitor and maintain OpenCRVS, you should go and learn about that now, and learn about other checks, technical checks that you should do before going live. But essentially that is how to deploy OpenCRVS. Thank you.